What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and once again, I'm here with
Gersh1.
And today we're back at it, answering your question in another episode
Of
for
the Greater. This is a video series where we answer the question stuff by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question, because we get to those questions first.
And remember, if you guys are still playing the shot game, take a shot every time we say question.
Yep. Do it with something that's like, pretty low alcohol percentage, like
Milk?
Bacardi 151.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I was going to say milk, but some people are lactose.
Yeah. Well, so the majority of our demographic actually comes from the U.S. and the UK for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the highest percentage of people who can, drink milk and not get the runs. So drink all the milk you want.
It's crazy how not having toes makes you not able to drink milk. Because you lactose.
Oh, yes.
This question comes from none other than Timothy Armstrong. His question is, what is the worst defeat the Imperium has ever suffered?
This is a good question.
Because right away, when I picture the Imperium, I was going to say, the Isfahan massacre, but that only affected
Space
Marines, and not all of them either.
Right.
So we got to go deep. We got to go bigger. We got to go to the Men of Iron.
Well, but the Imperium wasn't even back then.
It was still the Imperium.
No,
it just wasn't
humanity.
called that.
Oh, okay.
The Imperium before the Imperium.
So
if that
humanity.
counts. Yeah. I'd say so, because like when the Iron or the Men of Iron revolted, it's like we went from having Will Smith be our savior because of the AI revolting
to after the Red Table Talk, where he became Will Smith,
Pain. Yeah, that's
Sure.
all. That's all he is.
Okay.
He's just pain.
Yeah, because if we encompass all of the Age of Strife, so it's Men of Iron, Navigator, or what is it called, the psychic upheavals and everything like that. The Imperium or humanity really did suffer.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, what about when like the world went all radioactive and there was like warlords and whatnot? That was a pretty bad time too.
Right, that was part of the Age of Strife. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I would say the Age of Strife, the Horus Heresy is probably second. And then lastly is what's happening right now in the 42nd millennium, I guess, which is the Great Rift opened up, Cadia was exploded, and it's just like the only hope is Gilliman and his Primaris Crusade, which happened a while back.
You're right. And I think they've been holding on okay.
Maybe. It's kind of difficult to follow because like now I'm on the Pariah Nexus, and I don't really know if the Pariah Nexus is... Like, where does that fall in the timeline? Is that the most recent thing?
Yeah. I think so. Because that was before or after Vigilus?
I don't remember. But yeah.
Yeah, it ain't a good time to be a human in any time.
Right. What's your favorite, though? What's your favorite campaign? I think that's a little easier to...
The Reign of Blood.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That's the formation of the Imperial Creed, which is pretty crazy, yeah.
Yeah, Goge Van Dyer and like the Brides of the Emperor and whatnot.
Yeah, I like the Olenor Crusade, so like the destruction of the orcs, and they weren't just regular orcs; they were like tippity top, the best of the best orcs.
They had feathered caps on.
Yeah, they had technology that has never been seen before.
Right, and that took the entire of the Space Marine legions to take them down.
Every Primarch.
Think about that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Next question.
This one is by Iraq9. Are there any good non-canon Chaos gods? And what would be the Marines like of a god of pettiness?
Non-canon, I don't think so.
I mean, the biggest one, the only one, is Malal, really.
Yeah, his whole lore is just... If you want... Like, never mind. I'm not going to talk about it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could always create, like, a minor Chaos God or anything like that.
Yeah, Cain.
Caleb Mensha.
Yeah. Even though he gets his ass beat every time. But it is just an avatar of Cain. It's not actual Cain.
Right.
But, yeah. Next question comes from Jesus Garcia. Which of the orc war bosses was physically the strongest, and which was the smartest by orc standards? It is the leader or the main war boss of the Olonor Crusade. I forget his name. I still haven't done a 40 Facts video on the Olonor Crusade. I will eventually. I just want to learn more about it.
You wouldn't say that the Beast was from like way back when?
I don't think he was as big as the Olonor one, because the Olonor one was defeated by the Emperor. The Beast, spoiler alert, was not defeated by the Emperor.
But I mean, he was still pretty big.
Yeah. But it's like, what's a goon to a goblin?
Nothing.
Exactly.
I should have known. Dang, I feel bad.
Next question.
This one's by Cody Stahl. Is there any possibility that humanity may be able to restart the Webway project? And how do you think they could do it?
Yes, because they discovered a webway. Oh no, it was closed. Well, they had one on the moon, but I think it had to be closed after Magnus was pushed back in.
Yeah, because if it remained open, then that could just lead to more invasions, and I don't know why I said invasions.
Invasions.
And that's like you're too close to Terra.
Right.
Yeah. But if they did do that, if they did like restart the project and get it going, how do you think that would change the state of the galaxy?
I think Chaos and the Eldar would try to prevent that. So I think more friction between them and the Eldar.
I just want the Eldar to be more upfront and like in the lore. Maybe we can get all those metal models, finally plastic models. And we can actually get new lore on like the Phoenix Lords and whatnot.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it just sucks being a Xenos when they're Space Marines.
Right. This question comes from Yarshman. Have any Titans ever been switched between houses? I believe so. I forget what the process is, but I think it's like it's almost like the samurai, where like you become a Ronin, and then you are adopted by another house. Kind of.
Instead of becoming a Ronin, you're called a Free Blade.
Right. Next question.
This one is by Caboose NZ69. Do you think that one of the reasons that the Imperium is hanging in there is because us humans like to breed like rabbits? Yeah, because I mean, the more humans you have, the more fodder you have to throw at like anything. Just look at the Astra Militarum. More humans you have, the more belief in the Emperor you're going to have. But at the same time, all these humans are also hurting us in the long run. Because, yes, they're powering the machine of the Imperium, but at the same time, that's more people to convert to chaos, more emotions to feed into chaos. So, it's like, yeah, it helps, but at the same time, it's hurting.
Right. This question comes from Erkin Probe. Would the Necrons have any different opinions of humanity during the Dark Age of technology than the current Imperium? I don't think so, because humanity back during the Dark Age of technology was similar to the Tau. And the Necrons wake up, and if they find the Tau, they still kill them. So.
Yeah. What can you do, right? This next question is by The Seeker. Are the Drukhari creating their own god by their sadistic action? And why and how is their actions repelling Slaanesh? Shouldn't it feed her?
Nope. Nope and nope.
Yeah, they're not really creating anything. They themselves get pleasure from pain.
That's how they've lived so long. They feed off of that. And they don't have spirit stones, but their hope is just causes enough pain to just continue to stay young.
Right. Because they want to be forever young.
Yes. And then the second part, what was it?
Why and how is their actions repelling Slaanesh?
Oh, so it's not repelling Slaanesh. It's simply keeping them alive, and then they hide in the Webway. The Webway, there's no way for Slaanesh to get into the Webway yet.
Yet.
Next question.
Metallica 808. Could a god of chaos be permanently killed if it were lured out of the Eye of Terror and prevented from re-entering the warp? after death through the use of the Necron Cadian pylons. So I don't think a Chaos God has ever materialized entirely in real space.
Right.
I don't even think if that's possible.
Right.
But if it were possible, then yeah, I think the pylons would be a good maneuver to trap them in real space and then kill them. And then through their death, their essence wouldn't be able to go back to the warp. So I guess they would stay dead. I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of ifs, a lot of maybes.
But it is something that I don't think GW wants to do.
Right. Because I don't think they want to kill off one of their major antagonists.
Right. This question comes from Cody Stalk. Besides Space Wolves riding their wolves, are there any other examples of Space Marines riding live cavalry? There are successor chapters of the Salamanders that ride Salamanders.
Yeah.
There's some really cool conversion work, too, on Instagram. It's just so amazing. But yeah.
The Dark Angels rode those big, like, lions.
Yep.
Well, I think was that before they became Space Marines. I think they were called the Knights of Caliban when they did that.
You could still see artwork, though.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. This next one is by Phil Richards. Who in 40K do you think would be able to eat the greatest number of Carolina Reaper chilies before, obviously, going for the milk and or shitting themselves?
Corn.
Yeah. Easy. It's like cornflakes to them.
Yeah.
Have you ever had one?
Cornflakes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. What about Carolina Reapers?
I have not. I think I have had the sauce, though.
The sauce?
Sauce. This question comes from Bunny Hop. Would you raw bone anyone in the 40K or 41st millennium? The people don't seem very clean in general, but Urge is gonna urge. If I really wanted to get it on with somebody in the Imperium, it would probably be a navigator.
Because they'll tell you where to go exactly.
Exactly.
To the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. Oh, to the right, to the right.
And I need direction.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think so. I mean, you're already dirty. What's getting more dirty gonna do?
It's true. I think my biggest fear would be having a void-born child. That would suck.
Because then it's like, whoa, what are you doing up there, son?
Yeah.
And he's like talking to you telepathically.
Crawling on the walls.
Mm-hmm.
Next question.
This one's by DStonk333. Is there anything in the law of 40K that isn't in the tabletop that you would like to see on the tabletop? I think he meant lore.
Time travel.
In the tabletop?
Yeah, like I wish there was some type of do-over.
Right, I'm winning in turn 2. Let's fast forward to turn 5. I win.
Or something along the lines of like a do-over type of...
It's called a re-rolls, Gersh.
But that's just like one re-roll.
Mm-hmm.
Like what I would want to see is like your unit of boy shoots. You roll horribly, and then you trigger something, and they let you shoot again.
Stratagems.
Exactly, but a stratagem that includes time travel in the fluff, in the lore.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or even like a big concept like what you said, where turns are shifted, so it's not like I go, you go.
Yeah,
back and
that'd
forth.
be cool because they do that in Age of Sigmar, and that's pretty fun.
Yeah,
because you could potentially go back to back.
Yep.
But then, I don't know. It's like you gotta. Do you play thinking that you're gonna go right after this turn, or do you play safe?
that is the strategy. Even though if it was back to back, I think a Space Marine army or just like a 40K army would be more devastating than an Age of Sigmar army.
Yeah, especially if you get first. You get first charge, and then you get to hit again and again and again. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then stratagems that let you hit again.
Right.
Yeah, it'll easily snowball into like something crazy.
Yeah. What about you?
Just something aquatic. You really don't get to see that. Like you got flyers and whatnot, but what about like submarines or what are those things called? Floaties?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rubber duckies.
Yeah. Because it'd be interesting to actually have like a lake in the actual mat, and like certain units get a benefit for being in water or something like that.
I feel like there has been people that have tried that. What's it, the 40 or a game in 40 minutes? What is it called?
Oh, 40K in 40 minutes.
Yeah,
Play on tabletop.
There you go. They did it with like the sky.
Oh, that's right. Where you couldn't go into the sky, but if you had the fly keyword, you could still be there.
Yep, and you'd get covered because of the clouds. I think.
True. Or maybe you're already playing in an underwater battle and your speed is like reduced or something like that.
I never liked the night fighting in other.
Yeah.
That always like bugged me. Where it's like, oh, I can't shoot my full range.
Yeah, it's like I'm playing Tau and you expect me not to be able to shoot.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying.
Yeah.
This question comes from ABS Forge. Vallejo or Citadel? Tester paints.
Hey.
Next question.
This one's by Richard Baker. Do you think that the Blood Angels should have Necrons as a deployable add-on due to the lore? He's talking about the time they allied. No, because then you could just say, well, I'm playing Blood Angels and I really want to play the Silent King, so I'm just going to ally and bring them in.
And they allied like in the same way that like the Tau and the Imperium ally, or that Eldar and the Imperium ally, with an exception of, I don't think the Necrons even wanted, like they didn't need to ally with the Blood Angels. They just did it to like kind of test them out and see how good they were.
It's like, oh, the Tyranids are coming. Ooh, we can't take them on. Let's join forces.
Yeah.
And then once the Tyranids are done, it's like, well, you're dead too.
Next question.
This one's by Martin Van Posen. Throughout the books, the lore, and dialogue, it seems that most Space Marines look down upon regular humans. They see them as worthless, weak, and basically trash. And Space Marines are seen as the superior race. So why do they keep fighting for humanity if they have such a low thinking about regular humans?
So the Space Marines are interesting in that I think they become obsessed with victory and they become indoctrinated into the philosophy of war. So really what they're doing is they are going to war. And they are going to war in the name of the Imperium because that's kind of the way that it is. But that's why renegades exist. That's why traitors exist. Because at some point, some of them realize, like, wait, the only reason I'm fighting for the Imperium is because of these cultural things, or like this pre-existing notion that I am supposed to fight for humanity. I don't have to. And then they don't. And then they become traitors or renegades.
Right.
So, yeah.
But not all Space Marines are like that. The Salamanders, they're super tight with themselves, with humans. The Ultramarines, yep.
Yeah. There's a lot of them that like really get involved in humanity. They become planetary governors. They have families. Check out our 40 facts on can a Space Marine have a child or whatever, because it's not the same as like us having a child. They're a little different.
Yeah, and then look at freaking Jagtai Khan. A freaking Primarch jumped into the Webway because the Dark Eldar were raiding their homeworld. So like raiding the Jagoran people, and it's like, yo, I can't have this. So he himself sacrificed himself for that cause.
Yeah. Even though part of that I do think is for other, not that situation, but similar situations, it is honor. It's the Space Marine's honor.
Right.
It's kind of like, oh, you're gonna do that to me? I'm gonna beat your ass for that.
Yeah.
And then the bad guys are like, but you don't even care about these humans. And he's like, I don't care. And
Yeah.
go after them.
Still though, you disrespected me.
Last question. What do you got?
James Bind. So this question is about the Chaos Gods using fear. What if each one had a different, specialized demon to cause fear in unique ways? Like, what if Khorne's minions could give psychic visions to their victims of several seconds in the future of their heads being forcefully removed? Or maybe Nurgle's fear magnifier would give people visions of them rotting away in different ways, like when they look in a mirror. Does this sound like a good idea to you? Love the show. Keep it up.
Yeah, that does sound like a good idea. Of like how to manipulate a certain emotion in 4 different ways.
Yeah. I can see it working, but at the same time, it's like, why would a Khorne Berserker show you this? Like, I feel like that'd be a waste of time. If anything, they just want to get in there as fast as possible and, you know, blood for the blood god, skull for the skull throne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does give you the option, though, to change it up. So, like, let's say you want to play a Slaanesh army because you like demonettes, but you want to give them, like, a more sadistic flavor to them, like more about pain and stuff, then you could have them, like, be devoted to a lesser or a minor god. but that's still encompassed by Slaanesh, but now also has the added like fear or like whips and chains and stuff like that.
Yeah, or it could be like a special effect, like seeing your death might demoralize you, so your leadership drops.
Yeah.
Or you're so scared you can't move, your movement is 0, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And I think they do that with in Age of Sigmar with the Beasts of Chaos, where like they really like have like this is one unit, but it can go 4 ways.
Oh,
yeah,
kind of like us.
Yeah, there you go. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. If we didn't get to your question, ask us again.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks for listening to our questions, or us answering the questions. And I still hope you're playing the question game. Question.
Yeah. If not, you're pretty much down and out at this point. So us saying question over and over again means nothing because you're blacked out.
Yeah, and you stop watching. But hopefully you have an auto repeat or autoplay so that the next Greater Wall plays, and then it's a never-ending cycle of you drinking. You become an alcoholic.
Sorry.
Or are we? Because you're going to keep watching.
That's right. Chaos God of alcoholism.
There you go.
As always, guys, thanks for watching. This has been The Sound Alchemist.
Of course, you won.
And we are out.